My name is Doug Brink. I'm with United Real Estate, and I've been asked to do an agent spotlight video. And as uncomfortable as that makes me feel, here I am. I'm Doug Brink. I've been a real estate agent for just over 2 years and live in Nelson County. Before that, I was in the restaurant industry for almost 45 years. The whole probably last 5 years I worked in the restaurant industry, I hated my job. It was not unusual for me to cry on the way home. It was so stressful. And I didn't think I could be good at anything else. I was always afraid to see if the grass was greener somewhere else. I had a friend who was in real estate and who kept encouraging me because she knew how bad I hated my job to come work real estate. And I had helped her previously at Bardstown Rescue. I organized a lot of their big fundraisers, so she knew I had the skills it would take to be successful. And I really think that 40 some years of restaurant management and area management and director and training, all that stuff really prepared me to be a real estate agent. And we got bought out. I lost my job in November, the first year of COVID. So I couldn't do anything, couldn't go apply for a job. It was the perfect time. So I spent from November to the beginning of February taking my course, getting my license, and getting started. And I hit the ground running and have been successful ever since. I love it. Just the restaurant business is by far, in my opinion, the most stressful, exhausting business there could possibly be. So the next time you eat out, give those people some grace because it is a very difficult job. So yeah, I started real estate and have never looked back. They did me a huge favor. And I also love the challenge of helping somebody do what they thought they could never do. Either find the right house or find a house in general. I work with a lot of first-time home buyers, and when you call that buyer and say we won the offer and they start to cry, that's so rewarding. I just enjoy meeting new people and I enjoy helping them find the right place. And a lot of times they'll say, well, what do you think? And I always reply, it's not my job to think for you, it's my job to help you. And if you can't be happy living in this house and you won't love living here, then it's not the right house. We need to keep looking. So, to me it's important that when somebody is making the biggest financial decision of their life, it's the right decision. And it has to be the right house, and it has to be under the right circumstances, and then, under the right terms. And it's my job to do that. And it's my job to hold their hand, educate, do whatever it takes to get them through the process. In 2009 is when I moved to Nelson County. Because we're United Real Estate Louisville, people are always shocked that I live in Nelson County when I saw a house in Nelson County. But I love living there. It's a small town. I don't think there's any place better to live in Kentucky. It's just a great little town, and the longer that I live there, the more people I know. The more people I know, the better my business is. I am involved with Bardstown Rescue. I donate a percentage of my commissions every month to Bardstown Rescue. I do a weekly Pet of the Week page on my Facebook page to help get dogs adopted. I have, over the course of time, rescued 8 Beagles, and with rescues you never know how old they are, so sometimes they don't live very long, but We give them a great place to live. Right now we have 4 Beagles. One is Old Dog Tray in the Stephen Foster musical. So during the summer he has to work 2 or 3 or 4 nights a week, and he actually gets paid. Well, David gets paid for him to work, but he loves going there because all the actors love on him. If you don't know what that is, it's the Stephen Foster story is the story of Stephen Foster, the composer who wrote things like the Old Dog Tray song. Swanee River is one of his famous ones, but it's an outdoor amphitheater and they have 3 or 4 performances a week. So he goes and gets carried on stage and they sing Old Dog Tray to him. I'm involved with the Nelson County Chamber of Commerce. I'm a member, of course, but I'm also an ambassador. I just recently was accepted into Leadership Nelson County, which is an organization that accepts about a dozen people a year as a new class. It's a 2-year commitment. The first year is a lot of learning about Nelson County. We meet for a full day every month. We go to a different location every month to learn more about what Nelson County has to offer. I just recently got back from our first event, which was a team building event where we got to know each other in the class a lot better, and we did some crazy stuff. And there's a section called the lily pads where everything is swinging as you're walking on it, and you're held in place by a harness. I happened to fall, and it took forever for them to help me get back up, and it ended in a zip line experience. And I've never done any of that stuff, and went saying I was not going to do any of it, but like a sheep, I put my harness on and just got in line. And I'm glad I did it, but it was terrifying. Once I understood what the award was, it meant a lot. I hadn't heard of the award before, and because I couldn't make the award ceremony because I was hanging from trees, I didn't even know that I had won it until a couple days later. But when I found out what it was about, you know, just showing up, doing the right thing, being engaged, doing what Bonnie suggests is so important. You know, she doesn't talk for the sake of talking. She talks to help you make more money, and that's why you do what Bonnie says. You listen and you do it. I love helping other agents. I'm a mentor to one. I have a agent engagement group that I teach or lead every 2 weeks. So to me, being part of the team and doing what it takes to make not only me but United successful is what my job is. And to me, that's what being an agent is all about, and to me, that's what United is all about. You know, we are united as a group of people, and that's so important. We have to support each other. You know, I do the right thing, or at least I try most of the time. And to be rewarded for that is, to me, great, because I was just doing it because I think it's the right thing to do, and to be rewarded is a bonus for that. You know, I don't really know why I love Beagles other than our first pet together was a Beagle. She was very loving, and a rescued animal, once you get them beyond their trauma of why ever they were in the rescue, they just love you for loving them. You know, they've been abandoned for one reason or another, either tied to a tree and somebody found them, stuck in a dumpster and somebody found them, put in garbage bags and thrown in the river and somebody finds them. So they need to be loved, and they love you back so hard. Beagles are my spirit animal. There's an organization called Beagle Freedom Project that all they do is rescue beagles from laboratories. Beagles are the most tested upon animal on the planet because they are very docile, they don't fight back, and they're fair-skinned. You can't really buy anything in a grocery store or a drugstore that hasn't been tested on an animal. And once you own a Beagle, that just tears your heart up to think of what they do to these animals to test. And I get why they have to test, but it's heartbreaking. Nine years ago, we decided we wanted to see what beekeeping was like, and took a couple classes, got a mentor, set up some hives. At the height of beekeeping, we had 9 hives, but we found 4 is a more manageable number for us. Last year, out of 4 hives, we got 400 pounds of honey. It's not for the faint of heart. I've been stung 21 times one time, and that's not over the course of a day, that's in like 5 minutes. Even with a bee suit on, you get stung. You just have to be smart about what you do. There's certain things you can't do, like get in a hive when it's rainy or cloudy or cold, because all the bees are home. The best time to get in a hive is about 1 o'clock in the afternoon, because half the bees are out foraging, so there's less bees to make angry in the hive. One of the most exciting things about beekeeping is watching and catching a swarm. A swarm happens when a hive gets too overpopulated. They make a second queen, and one of the queens and half the hives leaves it all at the same time. And if you see it happening and you're out in the middle of it, you can't hear yourself think, it's so loud, because there's 30 or 40,000 bees just all over the place. And wherever the queen lands, within about 10 minutes, every other of those 30 to 40,000 bees will land in a pile with her. And if you put a box down right beside them, they'll march right into that box, and it's a new home. So that's pretty exciting to get a swarm. I think United is the place you need to be if you're a realtor. You know, we get so much training, so much support, so much education. Our staff is amazing, and we could do our job without our staff, but it sure wouldn't be as easy. No matter what question I have, there's somebody to answer it, and I think that's really important. And I love United for that. I love Bonnie for that. And I love all of our other agents for that. You know, other agents in the company are always willing to help or lend a hand or do a referral, and I think that's really important. Like I said, we're all in the same boat. We need to help row it.